Welcome to the Athletes in Motion podcast, from race to recovery, with your hosts, Tom Riegel and Kenny Bailey.
Hey, Kenny, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Tom, how are you?
I'm fantastic as well. We are back here with Sarah. We're checking in to see how she's doing. We're, a month in to your training since we talked to you last? I'm trying to look. We didn't look at the calendar first to get me some background on that. But so how are things going?
They're going pretty well. I really enjoyed, this weekend got to join, Tom, your transition workshop, which was very helpful to go over what equipment is needed as a first timer, what isn't needed.
Yeah, that's probably the most important, right?
It's because
probably
we spent a lot of time on that. What not to bring.
Yes.
Yeah.
What not to bring, what to actually bring, what different races need, because there are different people doing different lengths. And so I think that was important to hear as well.
Good.
And then it's been pretty good. I did have my first little bit of an injury, so maybe we'll blame it on Kenny.
Yeah, probably.
He did bring it up.
I did bring it up. It is my fault.
He does this all the time.
So yeah, my shoulder flared up a little bit with swimming. Probably for about a week and a half. It was just bothering me, my left shoulder, every time I would swim. Only on freestyle, I could swim the other strokes and be fine. It's better now. And I talked to a physical therapist who was at the Triathlon Expo and also at the transition workshop, Abby. And helped me figure out that I wasn't maybe rotating enough, since I'm right dominant. I wasn't rotating enough and maybe kind of using it in a weird way. So that has seemed to help, and I'm enjoying running now that it's warm.
Yay.
I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah.
So how far are you away right now from your race?
So I am probably about 6 weeks. It's May 21st. So maybe a little over 6 weeks.
Okay. And of the three disciplines, I mean, I know you had kind of a challenge with swimming, and it sounds like running's getting better. Of the three disciplines, which one do you feel like you're doing? Like, it always feels like a neglected child, like one of the three. At least for me, it does. Do you feel like you have a neglected child, or are they all coming along nicely?
Probably the running is my neglected child, even though I'm enjoying it more. I really enjoy the swimming. I really enjoy the biking. I will say I haven't gotten in as many long rides as I would really like to. I'm kind of just riding at the minimum of what I need to be doing according to training, which is probably fine. But I'd like to make some more time for that. That one feels like it takes longer for me to kind of get, because I live in an urban setting, like I'm right in the midst of Nashville. So I either need to load up my bike and drive somewhere, or I ride out to a greenway. I went and rode down in Franklin this weekend, which was really nice. So
how many rides are you getting in a week? Just the weekend ride?
Usually a short one during the week, like after work, now that it's staying light longer, and a longer weekend ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the balance with sort of priority of work and, other things, and trying to do that? Have you told your friends, like, no, I have to go for a run? Are they aware of it now? I mean, sometimes you have to train other people about you trying to train.
They are aware of it now. My family has very much been enjoying listening to the podcast, and apparently my aunt and uncle listen to it. So shout out mom and dad, my sister Emily, Tyler, my brother-in-law, my aunt and uncle Dana Marie.
There you go.
Listening.
Nice.
But no, they listened to it and said, "Man, how does Sarah have time to do anything?" Because I work, I'm in grad school, and I'm training for this. So the thing I was talking about with one of my friends who I swim with this morning is I feel like it makes me really discipline my time more than if I didn't have triathlon. And I do think it gives me kind of a reason to say, hey, yeah, I do have this. Like, I have to go do this, or I have to go do that. And whether it's going for run or going for bike, and fitting time around that. It's also nice, like we talked about last time I was on the podcast, that I do some of it with friends. So it does give some community time.
Yeah, you get that social aspect at least, so you can train.
Yeah,
so
and they
you're
kind
not
of
missing that.
Yeah, and triathlon is a lonely sport, but at the same time, you have a crew behind you of people that are supporting you and helping you and all that. So, as long as they understand that, right? Like, hey, my priority right now is going to be a run. I know I'll meet you later, but right now it's I got to get my run in, and for them to be able to, or for them to say, hey, you need to get your run in. That's even better, right? So
yeah, if you get them to help, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we're
fantastic.
working on that.
Looking forward over the next few weeks, you start ramping a bit, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And it's a little bit tricky because my work schedule is really busy in April. But knowing that I have 3 weeks in May is kind of nice to just know it's not right after my busy work schedule.
Okay.
But it's also kind of nice for me, I think, to stay consistent as I'm almost done with classes. I have about 3 weeks left of my grad school classes, about 3 weeks left of our program. So my goal is to stay consistent like through those weeks, but make sure that I'm really scheduling it in, because I know that was one challenge earlier, was if I didn't really make sure it was scheduled in, it would be easy to go, oh, I don't have to do that today.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's optional.
So that's awesome. So you get that 3 weeks to kind of be able to do that. You mentioned your PT. I think it was out of necessity. Are you finding, like, are you trying to make sure from a food perspective, or from, like, are you rolling, are you stretching, are you do all those good things, are you making sure you're taking care of yourself? Do you need to, is that something that's like or is that something that you're more cognizant of?
It's something I find that I've been only doing when my body tells me I need it. Like, ooh, I'm feeling achy, I should probably stretch. But this morning at the pool, I saw someone who was stretching before he got in the pool and warming up. And I was like, I remember when I used to do that. That would probably be a good idea to do.
Probably a good idea. By the way, I don't do it at all either. So I'm terrible. I get on a bike and start going. Right. So then Tom shakes his head.
That was the beginning of
my
my talk at the expo, was the fact that, like, you watch these professional athletes, they're warming up and they're playing, you know, like NFL, like they're gonna play for 20 minutes in a 3-hour stretch. And these guys are doing 2 hours of warm-ups beforehand, and we go out there and just crush things right out of the gate without even thinking about warming up. I'm just like, oh my God, we just take a couple minutes, move.
There you go. Well, Sarah, we're excited. You're halfway through. It sounds like you're dealing with the issues head on. You understand sort of the challenge of balance. I think like you said, we'll check in right before your race to make sure that you're still alive and ready to go. Question. This is a pool swim on this one, or is it okay? So the next one is going to be the open water.
Yeah. Open water on this second. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when does the wetsuit get introduced? Is it going to be after? It's like, I don't even want to see one until after the first race, or are you?
I think I'm just going to do a tri kit, because my open water swim is in June in Nashville.
Oh, perfect. Yep.
So I think it'll be warm enough. I did talk about that some. We talked about that some at Tom's workshop this weekend, though. So I mean, as of right now, that's the plan.
Okay. Well, no, stick with the plan. That works. So.
Well, there's a couple of opportunities for the open water training at Anderson Beach. So you'll be able to swim in the tri-kit and see how it feels, and just know that you're going to have a current along with it, but the water will be certainly getting close to that warm temperature by then. I mean, by May, it's going to be 70.
That's right.
It's going to be
hot.
So usually everyone that's wearing the wetsuits for that race is mainly because they want the buoyancy and they want to float a little bit faster. That's about it. But you still got to take it off. You got to run up the hill, and the transition in it. So it's pluses and minuses.
Can we start singing "Running Up That Hill," or is that?
Start singing.
That's a copyright violation. No Kate Bush today. Okay.
Yeah.
Just play that in.
There you go.
Race.
Actually, they should have that going. It would be hilarious.
Just on repeat.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just keeps going on until the last swimmer's out. Nice. Well, that's great. Any other tips, things that you've learned to fit in with this whole thing to share?
One tip that you showed me this weekend, Tom, that I thought was great, and we don't have well, I guess we're on video as we're recording, but people won't, as they're listening, might not hear this, but was to roll your socks down in to make the transition faster and have them sitting right in your tennis shoes, ready to go. Have your helmet open, like unclipped, and put your sunglasses and anything you want to put into your pockets in your kit, like put those inside of your helmet so they're ready to go and you have to put them on. So
there you go.
That was just like a logical tip. And I think the other thing is just staying consistent. That's what I've heard from a couple people is just, and y'all have reiterated, is just stay consistent in what you're doing and that'll serve you well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cool. Well, good. Well, we'll check in a little bit. We'll give a quick shout out to Abby Daunis at Peak Tempo Physical Therapy, since she was the one that gave you some assistance on that. So she's fantastic. And thanks everybody. Make sure you subscribe so you can follow along with the whole journey on the whole triathlete's journey, and keep giving us the comments and thumbs up, 5 stars, all that good stuff. So we appreciate it. And Sarah, be well, and we'll talk to you again soon.